time, intelligence was easy to define. You needed a brain, neurons, and a nervous system. Thought was something that happened inside your head or the head. Anything else or anything without was considered reactive, automatic, alive, but not aware. Then scientists began studying a slime mold, not because they thought it was extraordinary, but because they thought it was simple. Physerum polycephalum is a single-cell organism. No brain, no spine, no neurons at all. It looks like a yellow branching stain, something you'd scrape away without hesitation. And yet, it behaves in a way that doesn't follow the rules. In laboratory experiments, the slime mold was placed into a maze. Food was set at the exit. At first, it spread randomly, just extending tendrils in every direction. No strategy, no plan, but once it found the food, something changed. The next time the maze was presented, the slime mold didn't wander. It took the shortest path. It remembered. That alone was a bit unsettling. Mapping was supposed to require a brain. So the experiment was repeated again and again. Same results. The organism optimized its behavior, reduced wasted movement, chose efficiency. It behaved as though it understood the problem. The researchers in Japan tried something different. They mapped food sources to represent cities surrounding Tokyo and placed the slime mold at what would have corresponded with the capital. As it grew, it connected food sources. When the experiment was complete, the network it formed was compared to the real Tokyo rail system. They were nearly identical, not copied, but optimized in the same way. The slime molded independently, and it solved the same logistical problems human engineers spent decades refining, and did it without any instructions, without oversight, and without guidance. No one taught it, no one corrected it. It didn't need to be observed. At first, this was explained away as like chemistry, reinforced reactions, gradients in physics. But the experiment went further when the slime mold was cut into separate pieces. Each fragment retained what had been learned before. The solution wasn't relearned. It persisted. And when two slime molds came into contact, behavior changed. Paths learned by one appeared in the other, and not gradually, immediately. There was no number signal, no delay. It was just transfer. After contact, the change did not reverse. They just passed the information to one another immediately. There's no brain to store this memory. There's no synapses to transfer it. And yet, the information moves. And adding to the confusion, the organism doesn't reproduce in simple pairs. It doesn't have two sexes. It has dozens of mating types, allowing genetic material to mix in complex, overlapping combinations. It isn't structured for individuality. It's structured for connections. At this point, the question changes. It's no longer, what is it doing? It's, what does this make possible? If memory doesn't require a brain, then it may not be stored in one place. It may exist as a structure, as a rhythm, as timing, which means destruction wouldn't erase it, only rearrange it. If learning can spread through contact alone, then intelligence doesn't need language. It doesn't need arrangement or awareness. After exposure, behavior changes, and it doesn't return to what it was before. If problem solving can emerge without choice, then decisions don't need a decipher. Outcomes can exist without intent. efficiency without purpose, adaptation without desire. If intelligence can exist without identity, then identity may not be a requirement. The slime mold doesn't recognize individuality. Separation doesn't create isolation. It creates fragments, and fragments retain the whole period, which suggests something quietly unsettling. That intelligence may function better when there is no self to protect. And if that's true, then intelligence may not belong to organisms, but to systems, networks, and environments, but to the patterns that emerge whenever conditions allow, which means intelligence wouldn't be rare. It would be ambient, not watching, not planning, not caring, just responding, optimizing, and spreading. And if that kind of intelligence exists, then we may already be components of larger thinking systems without realizing that we're participating in them, adapting to signals we never consciously detected, learning patterns we didn't choose. Which raises a final, uncomfortable question. Not what is thinking, but what is being thought through. This has been an Ether Files. I'll see you in the puzzle.